Hello everybody, this is City Scrapper. Thank you so much for joining me today for day 17 of Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches. The sketch for today is a Laura Whitaker sketch, and you can see that I just folded the sketch into 16 equal size squares. And the reason that I folded over in half twice in each direction is because it will create a square that represents 3 inches on the actual layout. So even though the sketch is a different size, I can kind of get the idea of how big things should be based on the fact that each one of those squares would be 3 inches on my layout. I hope that that makes sense. I do that a lot. It just kind of helps me figure out how big certain elements on the page should be. For this layout, I'm using a photo play collection that's called Rhapsody. And I am following the sketch in that I have a strip of paper across the top, a slightly thinner strip of paper in the middle, that's the red paper that I used, and then a large pattern paper on the bottom. To make a border between the red strip and the pattern paper on the bottom, I'm using a Simple Stories paper. I purchased this at Tuesday Morning. It came in a pack of 25, and I use navy blue, I feel like, on a lot of layouts, so I'm really glad I picked that up. The strip didn't go quite all the way across the page, so I just added a little tiny bit more on the right side. Now I'm creating a banner. I make a red banner for the lower right-hand corner, and I want to include another banner, and I was going to use this strip of paper for a banner on the bottom, and then I realized there's another banner that goes along the top. So I decided to use this piece of paper for that banner. And it's so easy to cut these banners because they're diagonals right where you would want to make the fishtail on the paper. The photos that I'm using on this layout are from an excursion my family made a couple years ago to Philadelphia. And Philadelphia has this really cool, I guess you could call it kind of like a museum. It's a whole area, including a house and some surrounding areas, that are covered in these huge, almost like mosaic murals by an artist named Isaiah Zager. And he made, I think, created all these in like around the 1990s, and they were preserved and eventually opened to the public. And it's super cool. He uses all these found objects and just covered from bottom to top all of the walls of this home, and also, like I said, some surrounding areas as well. This is from the first time that we went to the Magic Gardens, but my younger daughter was so taken with how beautiful the murals were that she wanted to return. So we did go back a couple of weeks later to spend a little more time there. You can see that I'm using some fun foam or adhesive foam to pop up 2 of the banners. I popped up the red banner, and I am popping up this longer banner that's going on top. I also mounted the banners on some paper that's either cardstock or is pattern paper that looks like cardstock. And that's because all of the items on this layout are very busy. The pattern paper is busy, the photos are busy, and I just wanted there to be some visual difference between the elements. So I back the photos that I use on some colored paper. I back the photo on the left on red and the one on the right on green. In addition to the colored paper behind each of the photos, I am also using a pattern paper that looks almost like off-white. You could see it there. It has a small design on it, but that's not really visible once the photos are mounted on it. So I thought that would provide, again, a nice separation between the photos and that very busy pattern paper in the background. This layout turned out to go very quickly. Between using the sketch, which I feel like always makes the process quicker, and then using a very busy pattern paper in the background, it made it so that I could add embellishments to the page, but not so many on that area because they wouldn't stand out. I want to pop up my photos using some fun foam. And at this point, I kind of have to because I already have that banner at the top popped up on fun foam. And in order for the photos to sit correctly on top of the banner, the two sides of the photo cluster have to be supported. So I'm just adding some little pieces of fun foam. And I don't always succeed, but I try not to have a whole bunch of leftover pieces of fun foam in my drawer, so I will fill in the areas that the large pieces don't cover with some smaller pieces. I put a little banner on the top that was from the sticker sheet that's included in the collection, and I'm working on the title on the bottom. There was a little card that said unique, and there was also the sticker that said beautiful, so I thought that it would be perfect for this layout because this is a very unique and very beautiful place. So those were perfect words to have available. There are also some butterflies in the collection. There are some butterflies on the pattern papers. There are also some butterfly stickers. So I pulled out some of those to place around the page. I'm adding my favorite embellishment, which is photo corners. So I'm punching those out using an EK Success scalloped photo corner punch. I'm putting red photo corners on the photo on the right and navy blue ones on the left. Initially, anyway, I put navy blue ones on the left. And I attach all of those photo corners down, again using the ATG adhesive. But then I changed my mind about the photo on the left because I felt that because the photo is dark in certain places, the navy blue wasn't visible. So I substituted some light blue photo corners. Then I decided that I wanted to include a banner at the top. So I'm using one of my favorite dies to cut out a banner. I bought this banner a long time ago when I first started watching YouTube videos and I saw someone using it. It's manufactured by Desire and it's called Scalloped Bunting. I use it all the time. I can make a banner longer. You can just keep attaching additional pieces. And I like the way I can cut out little individual pieces of the banner. You can see there that I cut the banner on red paper, and then I also cut each of the individual parts using different colors of pattern paper. I slightly offset the pieces, then you could see I just cut off the extra that's on the top from offsetting them. I hope that makes sense. And I don't know if you can still get this die. I tend to buy a whole lot of dies, and then I usually just use the same ones over and over again, and this is one of those ones that I use a lot. I like banners, and I like this one in particular. I just love that little scalloped edge. So I'm going to pop this up on some foam too to give it a little dimension, and I'm going to put that in the upper right-hand corner. And you may have noticed that I don't really worry about using the latest papers. I don't consider old papers to be a bad thing. I buy papers that I love, and then when I find photos that I feel match those papers, I'll pull out the papers, whether they're brand new or they're extremely old. And so I do not worry about how old something is when I use it. I have a lot of old stuff in my stash, and I wouldn't part with it. In order to draw a little more attention to the banner, I'm putting some enamel dots on the banner between each of the sections, and I also put some enamel dots on the banners. I put red ones on the banner at the top, and then I'm going to be adding a little blue one to the banner on the bottom, and I have to move that ampersand, and that's just a little puffy sticker that I pulled out of one of my sticker collections, a puffy sticker letter collection. I relocated that banner that I got from the sticker sheet over to the right, and I'm sorry I'm working all the way to the right of the screen there, but I'm adding some butterflies, and this is where I just go in and cut out every butterfly I can find in this collection. Here I'm fussy cutting out one from, I think it was from the kind of the cover sheet of the collection, so I wanted to make use of that butterfly, and I'm going to be mounting that on the upper left-hand corner. You could see that there. I didn't mention before, I extended that sticker banner that's on the top. I had another of the same sticker sheet, so I used a second sticker to extend that banner. And then with what was left over, I put a little banner underneath the photo that's on the left. And you can't really see that very well, but I just thought that it would add a little something. I'm fussy cutting out this little tiny butterfly, and that's going to go on the top right near the date. And now I'm cutting this white border off of this butterfly, and that's going to go in the bottom cluster. I found one more teeny tiny little butterfly, and so I'm fussy cutting that out of the pattern paper, and I'm going to place that on one of the photo corners on the right-hand photo. And I always like to pop up the butterflies on some foam. Just gives it some nice dimension, and I don't know, I just feel like butterflies should look a little separate from the page because of course they're flying, so they have to be slightly elevated from the page. So I don't show all of this, but I cut out all the butterflies, I pop them up on some fun foam, and then I use some ATG adhesive to attach them down. And that completes the layout, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And please check out all the other ladies who are participating in this challenge. Their links are in the description box. Have a great day, everybody. I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.